I bet you're all wondering what we're doing. This is actually the first time we've ever actually showed myself or himself on camera. Essentially, I am Mr. Gundam and this is Jiraiya.
Hey, how's it going?
Now, a lot of you know me from doing a lot of, horror, not really horror, but science fiction movies. Jiraiya here, he's kind of like the go-to guy about all this. So, what I'm calling Horror Fest is we're doing two reviews, essentially. Now, we did a bad one, so we had to get the bad part out of it first. Because it's always at the end of the month it gets good. Now, we started off with THANKSKILLIng. But to be more precise, we've both of us have seen the first one a couple of times. But we watched the sequel that came out last year called THANKSKILLIng 3. Because the sequel was so bad, it had to be destroyed.
And overall, could they have taken this one with it?
I don't know, but according to the sequel, THANKSKILLIng was nothing more than a Hollywood movie. Which is kind of an interesting take on it if you think about it.
Yeah, it is rather odd. I mean, it's the first sequel I've ever seen where...
Well, the trailers are, it's the first movie to skip its own sequel.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but it's the first one I've ever seen where the sequel takes place in essentially an alternate universe.
Well,
Where
not so much alternate universe, so much as it's just well, it's the same universe. It's just it turns out THANKSKILLIng was nothing more than a movie they made.
Yeah, that's what I mean. As opposed to the first one being
it was
an actual event.
Well, it was a college project.
Yeah.
And for some reason it gained momentum and just... It's like, before that there wasn't really any Thanksgiving-related horror films either.
There were a couple, but...
None as memorable as this, because it has turkey in it.
Yeah.
Called I.E.
Turkey with all of the...
Turkey with all the trimmings.
Yes.
All the good trimmings.
All the charisma of Freddy Krueger.
Essentially.
Not the first two films, after about part 34.
Yeah, when he decided to start having fun with it.
Yes.
But, I don't know. The first one's just like your run-of-the-mill horror film in a sense. With, you got the prude, you got the jock, you got the nerd, you got the slut, and you got the redneck.
Yep.
All of them but the prude dies. He's also a virgin, but that's a different story altogether.
Yeah, well, that's just basic horror rule.
Well, usually the virgin always lives, so...
Yeah.
And actually, we see all those the actors from the first film in the sequel.
Yeah.
You know, they're all being... Like, the jock and the prude do like a cameo picture.
Yeah.
And the redneck, and I think it's the redneck, and the nerd are being picked apart.
Yep. And in much better detail than what they were in the first film.
They both start with boobs.
Yep.
I don't know. It's like, I think the THANKSKILLIng 2 would have just been the first movie, but in space.
Yeah.
And he had a pumpkin pie sidekick.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would have been pretty weird. But essentially, what makes it work is Turkey, in a sense. Yeah. Or as we like to call him, Turkey Krueger.
Yes.
Because at the end of the third one, he's like got his old face all messed up.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, without a killer that's that level of personality, that movie would have just been total shit.
If the turkey didn't talk, that would have been a really bad move.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're not going to say much about the actual, what happens in the film. But essentially, it's like, the thing about bad movies is they're bad.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we keep coming back to them. It's in there.
Yeah, it's the reason why American Pie sequels are made.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Horrible movies do exist. Like Sharknado, for instance.
Yeah.
But that has some fine points. It's a bit of a Jaws throwback.
Yeah. It falls under the lines of so bad they're good.
Yeah. Kind of like, this would be a guilty pleasure for certain people.
Yeah, it's like, in all honesty, there's only one horror film I've ever seen that I would classify as just being straight up bad. And that was something called Mummy Maniac. It was really bad because of the fact that, number one, you have a film that's based upon an actual serial killer who was at large at the time. Number two, every single scene involving the murders is essentially the same scene recycled, just with a different, really terrible actress. Seriously, I've seen porn that does better.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. One of the selling points of horror films back then, like what was it called? The Hammer films.
Oh yeah, the Hammer.
That was a selling point.
Yeah. But the bummer of it is this one was made in like 2012.
12,
I think.
The first one I think was made in 2009 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the camera itself. But but here's the thing. This was independent. This was an independent thing.
Yeah.
Through donations and actual dedication. With sci-fi, they're just as I said before, they're just slob mounting it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't know. Sci-fi used to have good movies before they were sci-fi.
Yeah.
But I think this would be like one of those it wouldn't be a collector's item, but it'd be something in your bad collection.
Yeah, it'd be a cult classic film.
Like, well, if it would, I don't know. This thing didn't get a lot of. I really don't know much about the history of this film. I just found it creative.
I figure like this: when your two biggest stars are
The puppets themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
The killers themselves, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it makes people want like the killer more. Because here's the thing: if you like the characters in a slasher film, there's something wrong with you because these kids could be dead at any time.
Yeah, you don't watch slasher films or any horror film for that matter.
You don't watch
for the people. You root for the killer.
Yeah, you want to see these people get chopped up.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Predator movies in a sense.
Yeah.
You know who's gonna die. But in this one, we actually didn't see. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He didn't. I think he killed the same amount of people as he did in the first film.
Yeah.
I think he killed only 4 people.
Well, at least he's consistent.
At least he's trying.
Yeah.
I don't know. How many people do we know that Freddy Krueger didn't kill in the films?
I
mean, we don't.
At least one per film.
I don't know. We didn't see. Here's the thing. Freddy Krueger's been on the street Elm Street for a long time.
Yeah.
He could have killed everyone if he wanted to.
Yeah.
I think for him to work, you actually have to have a nightmare.
Yeah.
You have to be afraid or something. I don't know. It's a different story. But for us, this was like we cringed at a couple of the puns, but
Oh God, yes.
but how do we explain this? How do we go off? But this was a horror comedy, and the thing is, that's always a hard thing to do, and not only is it a hard thing to do, it's also a hard thing for people to remember it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it hadn't been specifically for a killer that unique, then this just wouldn't have worked at all. It would have been, another Axum or another scary movie.
No. Scary movies meant to be, or trying to be funny. This one was just, scary. Scary movie. It's just there to make money. No, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Not thinking anything outside the box, but I don't think it was trying to be a scary movie type. I think it was just trying, be like an Evil Dead sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're in one location most of the time, but for some reason there's like millions of rooms in it.
Yeah. And buckets of blood whenever necessary.
Well, there wasn't a lot of blood in this movie, actually.
I know
guts.
Guts, blood.
Yeah.
6 in one, half a dozen in the other.
Yeah. But as I said before, it was okay. It was okay. Yeah. Now we're gonna move on to something different. Here's how we're gonna do it. With our next step, we're gonna, as I said before, there's also sci-fi horror, and we're gonna talk about something we kind of both agree on in a certain sense. Give me that thing there.
Huh.
You know who this is. This is what we're going to talk about next time.